Hello, fellow van builders. It's Scott. Welcome back to the channel. Today is plywood installation day. So here we go.
Wow, look at that. Home Depot, you should be ashamed of yourself. It's like Bondo. Bondo on the wood. Ridiculous. It is helpful to hang on to the original equipment that came out because you got a built-in template. So I thought to myself, I'll cut that one 4x8 sheet of plywood, this one, and then reset the template. But man, why would I do that? So no. Let's get this other piece here lined up as precisely as we can. That's pretty good. We can mess with that in a minute. And then let's get it all done at once. And otherwise you're complicating yourself with, you cut this one and you're not sure exactly where you are on the cuts for the next one. And then you got a measurement nightmare, in my humble opinion. So, and this is that sand ply that I picked up at Home Depot. It's supposed to be real water resistant, which makes sense for a subfloor to me, but man, I don't know, the quality of wood these days. There's glue and like Bondo all over this stuff. I saw the package, it says it comes from Colombia, so I got a heavy guilt that we're mowing down the frickin' rainforest for this Sprinter van. But what else am I gonna do? I can't find birch ply anywhere at Lowe's or at Home Depot, because it seems like you can't find anything you want. So I just hope that there's good solid reforestation going on out there. Otherwise, it's a blank show for sure in terms of stripping out the wood that we all need on planet Earth. All right, so I'm going to trace this baby out. These corners. Here. And this is where the wood is longer. So we're going to cut this piece off. Planning to use a jigsaw because I think that'll do a great job helping me get around the corners. All right, tools of the trade, my friends. We got a trusty DeWalt jigsaw. I'm using these Diablo. This is a multi jigsaw set, and there's wood blades and various, heavy coarse rip versus fine and you got some metal blades in there, so I'm using those. So this is a fine toothed blade because I don't want to destroy the cut. Certainly you got to have your safety goggles, and we're gonna rock some gloves. All right, put our blade in here. Ready to go. Glasses. Get some gloves on. That fine tooth blade is a little slower in its cut, but it certainly doesn't rip the wood to pieces, so good cut all the way through there. So definitely recommend that, that blade type. All right, let's switch this wood around. Now, it's good wood, really good. Glued on strap on the end, some sort of strange material there. That's great. All right. Milwaukee gloves have got a nice layer of rubber, so you're not going to cut yourself unless you really press hard. So it allows you to get the burrs off. And some of these splinters, as my wife and kids would say, get these splinters off. All right. Now we can do a test fit. Okay, my friends, cardboard is absolutely your friend here. So I took this piece of cardboard and I did the cutout of the wheel well, because this first section that I decided to cut happens to be the challenging one, because in the van, the stainless steel shower pan starts here, right? So I need to get a good measurement, and I used this template. So I cut this out, I went into the van, placed it down, and said, where does the stainless steel shower pan hit? Made that mark, and now I transferred that mark to the wood here, and I gave it a little bit of a liberal. If I have to recut it, that's good, that's no problem. And so I'm gonna snap a line across this whole piece, and then cut it out and see how that lays in there. Now, the stainless steel shower pan doesn't have perfect edges all the way around, so I expect a little bit of gap here and there, but I sure don't want to have multiple runs at this and cut this wood multiple times. So I'm going to give it a little bit more of a longer estimate, and maybe have to cut it back once to make it fit snug. So let's see how it works. All right, in my case, based on where these fit on the template, the distance was 17¼ for my shower pan. You're not going to use anything similar to that because you're going to have custom measurements. So I took that 17¼ and I snapped that line all the way down. Got myself a good line, and now we're going to cut it. Except we are going to rearrange these sawhorses. Okay. Just get some glove on my hand, and we can get started. I'm going to Clearance, we do. All right. I guess the worrisome part about that is this one needs to be as straight as possible, because you're going to put another straight cut of 4x8 sheet of plywood up against this when you then move the subfloor forward to the next section. So may need to do a little sanding here and there to smooth out some not corners, but minor variations, just so this piece butts up nicely. But don't want to get the cart before the horse. We'll just see how precise we were with the jigsaw. All right, let's do a test fit. All right, let's see how we did. Not bad. Not bad. All right. That looks good. All right, I'm going to cut that next one. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go the other way. Leave that confounded bed in there. Makes gyrations a little difficult. Look at that. Right on. That looks good. Measure twice, cut once. Let's see if it worked. Measure twice, cut once. Looks good. Excellent. Now we got the final piece, which is this goofy piece, because I got a dual slider van. I don't know why I chose that, but I did. And I'm going to come out here with the kitchen galley over there. Not quite sure what I'm doing with it over there, but it's going to be cool. All right, final piece is coming together here. I just notched out this one. It goes up front. And my intention is that it's halfway on this joist, strut, or whatever, and it is. And let's see, even over here, yeah, good. Well, always seems the case, but I bought 3 sheets of plywood for this job, and I'm 1 sheet short right here because of this unusual shower configuration that I sunk down on the van floor down to the sheet metal. So that requires 1 more piece of plywood. So we're off to Home Depot. See you soon. There we go. Looking good. Looking good. All right, hey, welcome back. After a run to Home Depot to get another piece of this sand ply, which, by the way, the glue in this sand ply is really pungent. So I'm opening up the doors to the van. I'm gonna let it all off gas. I don't know how healthy it is for you, but it stinks. So fair warning, folks. But I used the same sand ply for the bed platform and aired out the van as well, and the smell does die down. So that's a good thing. So I think we're gonna be safe. So this last cut that I need to do for the floor is 68 inches. And just measure that out. 68 inches. And by way of the miracle of cuts, meaning cut off pieces, I'm gonna try to use the clean straight edge side. I got me a built-in straight edge here. So let's get those lined up. Yeah. There we go. All right. Let us now in size. With proper gear, we got our glasses, we got our gloves, and we got our saw. I don't know about you all, those of you who are building van projects, but I always find myself late into the day. This is just now dusk, early evening, and still finishing up. Actually, I'm gonna put this. But once this is down, it will allow me to complete a host of other projects. Well, one thing to keep in mind when you go late like this, the bugs are out in North Dallas, and they are dive bombing everywhere. All right, that's good. No June bug. Right on. That job is done. So really easy to do. You just get a piece of that blue painter's tape, and before you put the plywood down, line up where your joists are underneath, so that when you start putting hardware, you know, your infrastructure and everything you need to drill down into those joists, you've got all of it aligned where you need it. Another example of that blue painter's tape and the lines where underneath the joists run all along the bottom of the van. Some more of that tape with the outline of those joists. And then as you can see, you've got it over there as well. All right, fellow van builders, thanks for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, a little bit more on the build out of the subfloor. I really like the way this architecture set up, and I got to give George from Humble Road credit for that. those aluminum 1x underneath, gluing those down, and then the plywood over that with the polyiso that goes in between there. Just makes a lot more sense than if you were just to take that plywood and drill holes straight down to the van floor, which just feels like Swiss cheese and set up for all kinds of potential rust issues. So really love this architectural approach. I'm not going to affix the plywood to that those joists, those aluminum joists just yet, because I want to make sure I get the shower pan exactly where I want it. Also underneath, I'm going to use some aluminum tape and seal off a lot of the area underneath before I put the subfloor back down. I got that tip through a comment section that came through the channel. So thank you for your contributions to the Vandingo build. Absolutely appreciate that. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Hit that subscribe button. Like the video. If you want, hit the bell when you subscribe, and that way fresh videos, you'll be notified when they come through. And really appreciate you joining me for today's video. Be good. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.